We've had this problem where we know energy bills are very volatile, and we need to actually now see what they're going to end up at. And if there's more that needs to be done, of course I would do that, as I've done over the past 2 years.
Liz Truss, if you are Prime Minister, will you be doing something immediately to help people with these bills?
Well, first of all, I also want to pay tribute to David Trimble, who was a political giant and who helped secure peace in Northern Ireland. I would act immediately. I understand that people here, people around the country, are struggling with some of the worst cost of living problems that we've had for generations. It's hard to pay for fuel, it's hard to pay for food. I would reverse the increase in national insurance. We promised not to raise it in our manifesto in 2019. The people here who voted Conservative for the first time expect us to fulfil our promises.
Well, while Mr. Sunak made some interruptions, Ms. Truss made this comment.
What people want to see is urgent action. They don't want promises tomorrow. They want things today to relieve the cost of living, but also to get spades in the ground in Stoke-on-Trent and other towns and cities across our country. What I would do immediately is put in new low-tax investment zones with simplified planning so we could get on with building and we could get on with those new projects. I'd keep corporation tax low to attract investment from around the world. I know how popular the products produced here, whether it's the pottery or the toffees from Walker's Toffee. We can turbocharge that. But we need to challenge the orthodoxy that is making things so slow to deliver. And I know people want things to happen urgently. I'm somebody in every job I've done, whether it's the trade deals I've struck at trade, whether what I've done at the Foreign Office, putting the toughest sanctions on Russia of any country, I get things done in government, and I don't just talk, I act.
No holds barred. But Mr. Sunak continued with a jab at Ms. Truss on inflation.
We remember the 80s and the 90s, and you know what the problem we had then? It was inflation. And it's the problem that we have now. It is the single biggest thing that all of you are having to grapple with at home with your bills. And we need to get a grip of inflation, and if we don't do that now, it's going to cost all of you and everybody watching at home far more in the long run. And you know what? Liz, your plans, your own economic advisor has said that that would lead to mortgage rates, interest rates going up to 7%. Can you imagine what that's going to do for everyone here and everyone watching? That's thousands of pounds on their mortgage bill. It's going to tip millions of people into misery, and it's going to mean we absolutely have no chance of winning the next election either.
Well, let's hope for a more even-tempered exchange with our chief political correspondent, John Craig, who is in Stoke, where the debate was just held. Good to see you, John. Look, do you have something to wave around? Because a bit of paper, I see the phone is in your hand. We've got some polling data.
We have indeed, Neil. Yes, it was fiery, it was feisty, it was ferocious at times. But let me bring you some breaking news. Yes, an opinion poll. This is a snap poll. This is by Opinium Research, and it's a snap debate poll. Tonight we asked over 1,000 regular voters to watch the debate, and we've just asked them who they thought performed best. Results: Sunak 39% and Truss 38%. So virtually neck and neck. Now that represents a fight back by Rishi Sunak, who has struggled in the early debates and, of course, trails Liz Truss badly in opinion polls, bookies odds and surveys of Conservative Party members. What's changed? We saw a much more aggressive performance from Rishi Sunak tonight. That's not to say that Liz Truss didn't fight strongly. Merely half the one-hour debate was taken up by the key battleground of tax and spend. Her argument, I'll cut taxes now. Him saying that it's irresponsible, immoral. Those arguments we've heard. At times that got pretty fierce. They also clashed on loyalty to Boris Johnson. There were personal questions as well about Liz Truss earrings and Rishi Sunak's expensive suits. It all got quite passionate at times, more lively and more bitter, you might say, most of it, than the previous two debates they've taken part in. But then right at the end, they started being nice to each other. And when Liz Truss was asked if she'd have Rishi Sunak in her top team, she said yes, and he appeared to say yes, he'd happily serve under her. So she's the front runner, but we've seen Mr. Sunak catching up. An opinion poll tonight has suggested on the performances here, neck and neck, according to a poll.